Hi, it's Leela. I want to tell you about telling my kids that I was opening my marriage. um, how is this going to affect the kids? People ask us this all the time. That we get the same thing about my spouse being transgender. How is this affecting your children? Um, well, the answer is it doesn't have a big effect on my kids, to be honest. It doesn't. So when I told my kids that we were opening our relationship, I, you know, was we were in the living room. I was like, "Hey, so there's something I want to talk to you about. We're opening our marriage, which means I'm gonna start dating other people." At this point, they were, gosh, maybe 7 and 9-ish years old. And my son, he looks at me and he said, "Why should we care?" Which I just laughed. And the thing is, what I ended up saying to him is, well, you really have no reason to care. I just wanted you to know because if you see me kissing somebody else, I don't want you feeling like your life is falling apart or I'm leaving your dad or anything like that. Um, and and they were both just fine with it. I do check in with them periodically and just ask them like how they're doing. Is anything that your weird parents are doing freaking you out or causing you problems? Um, no, it's not so far. They're mostly concerned with making sure we're there for them and that in the ways that they need. So they're concerned about what's for dinner. They're concerned about their sleepovers. They're concerned about their homework. What I've found is that I think this is in part because we've always been pretty open with our kids about stuff. And I'll talk in a different video about my approach to sex education and just raising kids. I think there'll be probably a few of these on raising kids. But ultimately, if you don't freak out as the adult and their living situation is not changing and their emotional support system is not changing, then it's all fine and they're stable. And that's been my experience anyway with my kids. It is something I've been watching and I've been cautious about. Also had a really fascinating conversation when somebody who was a sexy friend became my boyfriend, and that became a romantic relationship. And it was really fun because I brought that up with my kids when I told them that, and again there was a little bit of the, well, why does this matter to us? I don't really care. But also my daughter and I had a conversation about how what is he to them? Well, just the same thing, just a friend of the family. Because and this goes back to the relationship anarchy, right? If a single person starts dating somebody with the intention of marrying them, that does have a big impact on the kids. um, but me dating somebody in a romantic way that I do not plan to live with and do not plan to have be a co-parent or nesting partner in any way, that has very little impact on my children. That he's essentially to them just a really good friend of mine that sometimes spends the night. Um, I think that these things are nuanced, but ultimately I handle these things with my kids the same way I do with anybody else, and that is by maintaining privacy, but having an honest dialogue with them about what's going on in my life, in their life, in our lives in general. So yeah, so that's how I deal with being openly poly and my children. Have a great day.